So the influencers or so-called finfluencers who are giving out advice on where to invest and how to invest, right? Those people are doing something that is illegal. Money is numbers, but a home is emotion. But these people club both of this. They think real estate is the best investment because from 2010 until 2020, when we were in school and college, I'm sure most of our parents would have bought one property. A lot of them would have. And that would have appreciated a lot because that was a golden era for real estate. But as on today, we cannot double our money with real estate. The money that is there in stock market is not even 10% of the money that is there in FD. But the minimum returns that stock market can give you starts from 12 to 15%. The safest schemes. If you're taking a little bit of risk, you might even get something like 25 to 30%. If you're intelligent enough or if you have the right guidance to choose the right schemes and remain invested when the market is a little volatile, then I'm sure people our age can create a corpus of 40 to 50 crores with decent income, not big income. The only access that people have towards financial services is banks. And banks only focus on the big guys. So banks have all the data about you. So if you have an account in HDFC Bank, they will know what your bank balance is. So if your bank balance is beyond 50 lakhs, you are a premium customer. They will call you, they will respect you, and they'll try to help you by selling their products. But if you're a smaller customer, if you're having 30k in your account, no one actually cares. Bank guys don't care because you're a small ticket size. So opt for something called SWP, which is Systematic Withdrawal Plan. You will be able to withdraw 1% from the total corpus, which is 1 lakh from 1 crore every month. 1 crore will not erode. Okay, it will remain 1 lakh there. The market will keep generating money on the 99 lakhs that is still invested. And that if it generates even 10%, you will get 99k, right? So it's almost 1 crore again. So that's how it works. SWP is an amazing thing that people should consider if they want passive income, if they have lump sum money.
Hi Sanjana, welcome to the show.
Hi. Thank you so much,
Thanks a
Abhinav.
lot. Thanks a lot for making
Thank you
time.
for inviting me.
No, I actually saw you doing a lot of great stuffs in the finance industry, right? So I thought we'll be able to add value in the show and help people like us understand, the importance of financial planning and how to manage, right? Like it is a really hot topic right now. Everyone are striving towards, become financially independent, right? Right now it is like the hot topic. Everyone wants to become financially independent soon and enjoy their life, right? That era is going on. I think you'll be able to help us understand what to do and what not to do, right?
Yeah, that is true. That it's actually pretty simple if you look at finance, but
Mm-hmm.
then the discipline needed to become
Mm-hmm.
financially independent is a little tough. It's like that bitter medicine that you
Mm-hmm.
need to take, right? So
Mm-hmm.
consistently saving up even a little bit of your money every month can make you
Mm-hmm.
a crorepati all by yourself instead of
Mm-hmm.
depending on your dad's property or your mom's gold and all of that, which will definitely make a lot of us a crorepati in the future. But in spite of that, if you want to build money for yourself that nobody is going to ask you what you're going to do with it, if you want to do that in your life, then you need to start saving early, and you
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't have expectations that you will get returns in the next 1 2 years. So if you're able to
Mm-hmm.
maintain that consistency, then just like a good body, you will get a good corpus of money, like how you go to the gym every day, little gains,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Something
Mm-hmm.
like that.
That's great. So let's have an agenda for this, show today. So let's help, layman understand, how important the finance aspect is, and some ideas, some basic ideas up to about, what are the good and bad investments and how to, become like the ways to become financially independent. Okay, we'll try to give them inputs, which might help them, and I know it is dependent personally on each individual how they'll take it, but we will at least try to put something out so that at least they'll have back of their heads, right? What
Basic
do you think
idea,
about it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
fine.
you spoke about, saving up little by little to become, towards financial independent, right? What do you mean by saving up? Do you mean investments, or should I just, save some money out of my earnings?
There's this thing called inflation that all of us learned in college, right? Back in first PUC. So it means that the purchasing power of your money keeps coming down. So way back in 2015, 50,000 rupees was a lot of money, but today it's not, right? Back in 2015, if someone earned 35,000, it was almost equivalent to a lakh, right? But now if somebody is earning even 75,000, they're not able to make ends meet, right? So the purchasing power of every rupee is coming down because the inflation is at 7% in India,
Okay.
average 7%. So if you virtually have 1 lakh in your cupboard, okay, 1 lakh worth notes in your cupboard, the next day you take it, you want to buy something worth 1 lakh, you cannot because it's going to reduce to something like 93,000. 7% is going to be down. Okay, so that is the problem. So, for you to combat that issue, you need to start saving a little in the stock market if you're young. And if you're old, you need to consider bonds. Okay, so why stock market if you're young is because you'll be able to take more risk. You'll not have too many commitments like a wife, kids, blah blah, right? But if you're old, you'll have all these commitments and you need to have emergency funds ready and all of that. So that is the reason you need to save in the stock market. See, people in our age group, right, like when most of them, like a lot of them I see, they're working for a job that's paying them 60,000 rupees or a lakh. If it's a lakh when you're 26 and if you're earning a lakh, they consider it to be really good. And before 30, if they go to a package of 2.5 lakhs, they think it is very cool. That is okay. Okay. But on the other side, people who are 26 years old, they are still broke. They are still texting their girlfriends to send them 500 rupees to fill petrol, right? So these things, first you need to manage yourself well. Even if you're earning 25,000 rupees, you need to make sure that you hold that till the end of the month until the next salary pops in. So first thing is there's no financial discipline. And second thing, because of your ex's lifestyle or somebody else's lifestyle, you end up going to all the places that you can't afford to go to, right? So again, value for age, like you're growing up and you need to manage your finances, that whole thing is mismanaged in the head and you end up spending more on unnecessary things, right? So the most basic thing that you need to start doing even before saving, investing and everything is first you need to budget yourself. You need to see where you're spending more, where you're spending less. In a month, what is your spending? So in a month, how much are you spending on smokes or even simple things like that, right? Or you're going to have coffee. So at the end of the month, how much have you spent on that? So that way you'll be able to reduce on unnecessary expenses. Sometimes you send someone 3K, 5K, and then you forget about it. For someone, it's not a big
That's
amount, but for someone, it is, right? And you will end up asking for money when you don't have money. So, managing money, first thing, is not right. I think among the Gen Z people, it's not going well for them. So, first is budgeting. Second thing, you reduce wherever you are overspending, and then you need to start investing without the expectation that you will have a return of 1 lakh 2 lakhs in 3 months, looking at these articles and these reels that say that this stock jumped 80%, 150% in 3 months. And instead of having such unrealistic expectations that only professionals can do, you need to have a realistic expectation that, as on today, market can give me a return of 12 to 15%. So let me probably do an SIP that will give me that kind of money. At least let me have 50,000 or a lakh. If in case there's a medical emergency for my parents, let me be in a situation to contribute. So that should be your mentality. You shouldn't be like, I need to make 50 crores with this money, and that's all unrealistic, right? So that's how it
that's
is.
right. See, I agree with whatever you told. I think you mentioned about the mistakes what Gen Zs are doing, right? Like overspending and not planning their finances properly. I think I think the sooner they realize how important it is, to manage finances well, it is better, right? That is what I feel.
Mm.
Later, it's like, see, for people like me especially, I am from a, like, middle class family, and I have to know what I have to do, like, in my future, right? If I try to overspend or do something out of my box, I might not be in a good financial state in the future, right? So can you, help me understand what are the best investments to go for? As you told me that there are a lot of financial influencers online who's trying to put in a lot of things. Obviously, like, laymen like us will get confused whom to follow, whom not to follow, and what is true and what is not true. Because at the end of the day, it is all money, right? It is all money we are putting in, and we'll have second thoughts before investing somewhere, because there's a lot of information, and we won't be able to choose an appropriate one. Do you want to give a, a simple pathway for, a layman to understand what is the best start investment plans to start?
Okay, right. So the influencers or so-called finfluencers who are giving out
Mm-hmm.
advice on where to invest and how to invest, right? Those
Mm-hmm.
people are doing something that is illegal. See, according to
Mm-hmm.
SEBI, which is Securities Exchange Board of India, if you're not an authorized investment advisor, you're not supposed to give out advice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so SEBI chairman is very strict about putting a curb on these influencers. Okay, that is why you see guys like Finance with Sharon and all talk about other things these days, and not directly like, okay, invest in HDFC mutual fund. They don't do any direct promotion because it's banned. Okay. Second thing is, if somebody is giving you an indirect promotion, like, you know what, I'm using this app to buy stocks and it's great, I'm sitting on profits. If they kind of do some indirect promotion, then they're getting paid for it. Okay, there was this app. Okay, I think I've forgotten the name of the app, but it was meant to buy crypto. It's forget
Okay.
about it. There was an app which was meant to buy crypto, and when I was back in college, I took 1 lakh from my dad and bought crypto through that app because all these big guys were promoting that app. Okay, but then it turned out that that app is totally fraud and we
Okay.
lost that money. Okay, so all these big guys like Ankur Wariko or even Finance with Sharon, there's this lady called Radhika who's a influencer. All these people who make crores of money by posting videos, right? They promoted that app, but they themselves didn't invest in it.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of people like us who have half knowledge, right? Those people lost crores of money. People have lost their life savings believing these
I
influencers. Okay,
understand.
so if you're looking to invest, first thing, you cannot trust anything that is online because it's not
Mm-hmm.
like people from ET Now or Money Control are the ones making this. Okay, they are not backed up by research analysts. They don't know what they're talking about. They are not registered. Okay, so if in case you're in trouble because of listening to an influencer, he's not going to be liable, right, for what you lost. So that's one thing you need to keep in mind. And second thing is, you should not invest into a company's name that you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you really believe in a company, like for example, Reliance Industries, okay, it's on a loss as of today. But if I ask you, okay, Abhinav, do you believe in Reliance Industries? You'd say yes, because you know Mukesh Ambani, right? And you know that there's Reliance Fresh and Trends, everything everywhere, right? So first thing is you need to believe in a business to invest in it. And then you need to go through, if you're a younger person, you need to opt in for an SIP. I think most of our friends, they can definitely save at least 3 to 5,000 a month if they want to, if they genuinely want to, but they don't,
Yeah.
right? So, first thing is to start up with an SIP, some SIP for you to develop the habit of saving. Okay, and then you need to increase the SIP every year with the increase in income. So that way, you will be able to build a corpus of a few crores by the time you're 40. So if you want to retire, or if you want to start up a business, or if you have a smaller business, you want to scale it up and you need capital later, or if you want to send your child abroad, or whatever the reason is, if you need 50 lakhs, 80 lakhs, you will be able to remove it from that kind of a corpus. Okay. Or alternatively, what people our age are doing is, they most of them are like getting married, right? Like, at least they're looking to get married.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so once this whole marriage thing comes into your head, they think of getting a house, because you have to
Mm-hmm.
pay minimum 25,000, 30,000 rent in some creepy area also.
Mm-hmm.
So they think that, oh, I'm earning 70K and he's earning 1.2. So let both of us, make sure we spend 50,000 on the EMI. Instead of paying 30,000 rent, let's pay 50,000 EMI and
Mm-hmm.
let's have
And
our own house.
yeah.
Right? This is something that this is the most shittiest thing you can do to
Mm-hmm.
yourself, to lock yourself up in debt for the next 10 to
I,
15 years.
I agree
Okay,
with you.
you're basically investing in an asset that is going to depreciate. See, all these apartments that we see everywhere on the roads in Bangalore, right? These are all depreciating assets. Once the apartment touches the 10-year mark, the value of the apartment starts decreasing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whereas you should look at investments that give you exceptionally high income after the 10th year. Right. So you're basically investing in the wrong place. And you think that you become a homeowner, but then you are yourself reducing your net worth by a lot by making that
That's true.
mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the basic thing.
I think, yeah, I think emotions play a lot important role in all this, right? Because we being Indians, right, we are so deep dive into emotion and culture, and we tend to follow some, previous stereotypes, like, get married, get a house, right? I think all that, like, previous generation was doing that, and right now,
Mm,
I don't think, I personally believe, I and agree with you whatever you told. Like, if I buy a
mm,
house and I'm like in debt for like 20 years minimum, right? And I'll be missing on a
yeah.
lot of things. Actually, I told about this to my mom also. I'm like, we're not buying a house
Mm,
because, like, I don't want to
mm,
get stuck for 20 years. We'll look for something alternate, right?
mm,
Because I feel like
mm.
if you need a good house to live in, at least 1.52 cr, and that is
Yeah,
like
minimum.
huge. That is like very huge, right? And what do you think? Like, how do emotions affect the journey to become a billionaire or a financially independent person in the future?
See, money is numbers, okay,
Mm-hmm.
but a
Mm-hmm.
home is emotion, right? But
Mm-hmm.
these people club both of this, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
they think real estate is the best investment, because
Mm-hmm.
from 2010 until 2020, when we were in school and college, I'm sure most of our parents would have bought one property.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, lot of them would have. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
that would have appreciated a lot, because
Mm-hmm.
that was a golden era for real estate. But as on today, we cannot double our money with real estate. If you're buying a property that's worth 5 crores, which is a basic property in Bangalore these days, okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to become 10 crores in 3 years, and then 20 crores in 6 years, and 40
Mm-hmm.
crores in 9 years, right? This is compounding. 5 becoming 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 40 is compounding,
Mm-hmm.
not 30, and 40
Mm-hmm.
becoming 80, right? That
Mm-hmm.
will never happen in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
Got it.
if you're emotional, you can have a house, but in spite of that, you need to consider that you'll have to build a net worth for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to have assets in equity in the stock
Mm-hmm.
market, because the stock
Mm-hmm.
market is poised very well. See, as on
Mm-hmm.
today, the money that is there in stock market is not even 10% of the money that is there in FD. There is so
That's true.
much money lying
That's
in
true.
FD. Okay, and FD gives you maximum 7 to 8%. They will never give you 9%. If they give you 9%, it means that it's not a safe FD. Okay, but it's not even going to touch 10%. But the minimum returns that stock market can give you starts from 12 to 15%, the safest
Mm-hmm.
schemes.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you're taking a little bit of risk, you might even get something like 25 to 30%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now they say that, oh, why should I take risk? What if I lose my money? See, in the
Mm-hmm.
history of stock market, nobody has lost their money if they're a long-term investor.
That's true.
If they have invested money for a period of 3 plus years, they have never
Mm-hmm.
lost their capital. Okay, so if you're
Mm-hmm.
intelligent enough, or if you have the right guidance to choose the right schemes and remain invested when the
Mm-hmm.
market is a little volatile, then I'm sure people our age can create a corpus of 40 to 50 crores with decent
Yeah.
income, not big income.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with
Yeah.
you. See. Even I have invested in the stock market. Okay, it's been a year, and I'm doing a long term investment, honestly. And see, I got this courage to do it because I had a friend like you who could, make help me understand things like whatever you're telling me, right? I had a friend like you who helped me understand things. That's when I built my confidence, and I was, in my free mind, I put my money in, right? And most of the people out there, even now, like people in our generation, are very skeptical about stock market because they don't know how it works.
Correct.
They think if you go into stock
Yeah.
market, it is like, gambling, and if they don't have any idea of it, they won't be ready to put in their hard earned money, right? So what do you think is lacking? Like, how do these people get the knowledge, and how do these people,
Okay.
where can they find the right person to, motivate them to do it?
Mhm. See, Abhinav, we know that there's
Mm-hmm.
a language called Java, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I've
Mm-hmm.
not learned it. You've also
Mm-hmm.
not learned it. But
Mm-hmm.
you know something different, and I know something different, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are professionals for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the reason why people are not well aware is because there are a lack of professionals in the finance industry as a whole. You don't find
Mm-hmm.
too many investment consultants and financial advisors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
if you ask me, mostly if people want to find an advisor, they don't know how to find one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there are so many people out there who wants an advisor, but they don't know what to
That's
do.
true. Yeah.
Okay, so that is because the government itself has stopped people from advertising financial services. So the only access that people have towards financial services is banks. And banks only
Mm-hmm.
focus on the big guys. So banks have all the
Mm-hmm.
data about you, right? So if you have an account
Mm-hmm.
in HDFC Bank, they will know what your bank balance is. So if your bank
Mm-hmm.
balance is beyond 50 lakhs, you're a premium customer. They will call you, they will respect you, and they'll try to help you by selling their products.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but if you're a smaller customer, if you're having 30K in your account, no one actually cares. Bank guys don't care because you're a small ticket size. Okay, so the thing
Mm-hmm.
is, first is self study. But even if you do enough self study, for you to have a tab on the market for a long time, like for example,
Mm-hmm.
Trump won the election.
Mm-hmm.
So, what
Mm-hmm.
impact would that have on the stock market? If you ask someone who knows the definition of stock market, they'll not be able to tell you. They know what a stock market is, but they don't know how it would affect Trump winning elections in the US. So, you need a professional who's in power on a daily basis.
That's true.
Okay, so as of now, the awareness about this is kind of increasing.
That's
I
true.
think it'll take a very long time in a country like India.
Yeah, that's true.
But the good
And
part
yeah.
is
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, India's growth rate is way higher than other countries as
Yeah.
of now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a loss, it's an opportunity loss.
That's true. And I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, you're a financial advisor, right, Sanjana?
Yeah, I'm a consultant.
Yeah, yeah. So what do
It's the
you
same.
do, like what do you do as a financial advisor? Do you help people manage their investments? Do you suggest them what to do and what not to do? And what is your takeaway from it? Like, what do you get it in return? Just curious if you can
Mm,
answer, if you would like to answer. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So I help people. So everybody comes with a different set of problems, Abhinav. So people who are in their 40s, they are thinking about how to send their child abroad. People who are in their 50s are thinking about retirement because they'll be 55, they'll have a house and they'll have a Skoda. Okay, they'll have a good bank balance, but they would not have savings as such because they would have bought that huge house. And they would think that, okay, I'll get rental income, but rent they'll be getting 50,000, right? And they'll get some PF money which is worth 40, 50 lakhs. Now, what will you do with it? You don't know how you're going to sustain from 60 until 80, right? So I majorly help people like them to set up a retirement planning where I make sure that as much as I can, I maximize returns for them. Okay, and I set up a corpus through which I can give them retirement planning so that they are comfortable in the future where they get a passive income. Okay, so that's one thing that I do. Another thing with the younger people is if they are very aggressive and if they want to be among the millionaires and the billionaires, okay, there I help them choose the right schemes. Okay, in mutual funds, and I help them a little bit with shares as well. So I kind of manage the entire portfolio for them, and then we calculate their net worth and see how financially secure they are. And then, if in case they are going wrong, like a lot of people take the wrong loans, right, or they don't know how to pre-close their loans. So I'm more of a finance person helping people with all their problems. So that's what I do.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And
Hmm.
when you told about pre-closing loans, right, I think that is a very important aspect that everyone has to know, right? Because most of people think if I take a loan for like 5 or 10 years tenure, I'll have to pay the entire EMI. I mean, like every month EMI till 10 years. It is like a waste of so much money. Rather than we have an option to pre-close, you can invest elsewhere and get a lump sum amount of money and pre-close it, right? What that's what you meant, right? If I'm
See,
not sure.
that's what I meant. See, loans usually charge you, a personal loan will charge you something like an average of 10% interest rate. Okay. But if you're investing the same money into mutual fund, it can even give you a 30% interest rate. Right? So you're making 20% higher than what you're losing. So sometimes people pre-close a loan by investing into SIPs and taking the lump sum and pre-close the loan. Okay, see, there are a lot of things you can do when it comes to a loan. Women get loans for a cheaper interest rate, so they involve their wives. Okay, they take a personal loan together. Okay, and then
Okay.
they reduce the interest rate. They do all of these things. But if you ask me, you should not take a loan if you cannot repay it in the next 5 years.
That's true.
Because after 5 years, the interest that you're paying will become higher than the capital that you asked for. That's a total waste of money, right? It's not, most of the things are not worth it. If you take a car, for example, like if somebody wants to buy a Benz, okay, which is 1.5 crores, like a GLC or something, okay, they take more than 50% loan. But by the end of 5 years, the 1.5 crore car will depreciate to 60 lakhs.
That's true.
Okay, and they would have paid 1.8 crores to 2 crores amount for a car that's costing 66 lakhs because they want a Benz. So, are you having a corpus of 30 crores, 40 crores for you to afford that loss? So, it's about numbers at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree with you,
Yeah.
Sanjana. And also, see, right now we are in such a society, where social, we live for the society, right? Like most of the people around, they don't live for themselves. They want to show off. Even if I don't
Yeah.
have any good background, I want to show off having a good car, wearing good clothes, right? Which I'm spending a lot of
Yeah.
money. And even some I've seen some people who takes money, like who takes money and they'll be indebted and they will be still doing a lot of show offs and everything. What do
Yeah.
you think of people
Yeah.
people like this?
So those people will be broke forever if you ask me, and they'll be forever taking money from A to B and B to C. They'll try to borrow money from someone and repay someone else, and they'll be in the loop forever. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
being friends or marrying someone like that is just going to put you in trouble. That's
That's
it.
true.
You stay away
That's
from them.
no, I'm
Yeah,
just I've just seen a lot of people like that, especially people who doesn't have
exactly.
a plan for their life, who's not visionary in their life, right? Will end up doing such
Mhm.
because I believe like you'll have to have a lifestyle which is suitable for you and not overspend also. Then you have to take care of your basics first. Make a at least a 5 year, 10 year plan. Take care of what all you need, and first thing what your family needs, and then try to show off instead of just showing off without planning anything, right? See,
See, if you're a person who's in your career for the past 2 years or 3 years, you just started working and you have a 3 or 4 year experience, then you need to think about what you'll want to do for the next 10 years from the
that's
time you're
true. That's true.
25 until 35. So if you'll want a car, what should you do today to achieve that? Or if you want to get married and have your own house, you need to make sure you have extra income of at least 70,000 to a lakh, right? So you need to plan on those things instead of showing off. But on the other
That's true.
side, if you restrict yourself completely and if you stop living a life, then at the end of the day,
Yeah,
why are you here? You should also be
that's true.
happy.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I
Yeah.
agree with
So
you.
you need to
And
budget your
yeah.
happiness also.
Yeah. And this yeah I this thing just came on my mind now, Sanjana. See, we're just talking about becoming a millionaire and everything, right? So can a person who's working working in a professional field, for example, say he's working under someone in some company, and he's getting like fair amount of pay, like 1.5 lakh or 2 lakhs, can a person like that become a millionaire with the right amount of investments?
Yeah, see, 1.5 lakh is a lot of money. Now,
Mm-hmm.
from that 1.5 lakh, even if you're able to save 50,000, and if you're
Mm-hmm.
able to grow that money at 35%, right? At the end
Mm-hmm.
of 10 years, you will be sitting on a corpus of about 3.8 crores.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're saving 50,000 a year. Okay, and if you're growing that money at 30 to 35% with smart investment options. But
Mm-hmm.
again, if you're putting that money into a recurring deposit, instead of 3.85 crores, you will be getting 86 lakhs. That's how the
Yeah,
banks are making money, Abhinav. Okay,
got
they
it,
take your
got it.
money, they are investing it elsewhere, they are giving loans for higher interest rates, and your
Mm-hmm.
money is there, and they're giving you some peanuts for that money that you're saving. Okay.
That's true.
But ultimately,
Mm-hmm.
they are also going to move into stock market only, that money.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
how insurance companies also make money. How do you think LIC is giving you double the money after 35 years?
Mm-hmm.
See, your money
Mm-hmm.
should double maximum at 7 years, not after
Mm-hmm.
35, not after 25 years. Even
Mm-hmm.
with the safest investment, it should double in 7.5 years.
Yeah, yeah. And since you
Yeah.
got LIC into topic, right? Like, is this a good time to put in LIC? Like, since you told it is a long term investment, like 20 years, maybe 15, 20 years minimum. Personally,
So
I don't feel
I
LIC is LIC a good plan. Personally, I don't feel that is a good plan.
See, I'm not supposed to give out advice like that because again, it depends on whom we are selling this
Yeah, yeah,
LIC to,
yeah.
right? If it
That's
is
true.
a
That's true.
55-year-old guy with cancer, and if
Mm-hmm.
he's taking a term insurance of 3 crores, so
Mm-hmm.
after he dies, the 3 crores will go to his wife and
Okay.
children. So
Okay.
that
Okay.
makes sense. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
if you're taking a plan where the plan is like some Jeevan blah, I don't want to say it, some Jeevan
Okay.
blah
Okay.
blah, okay,
Okay.
and then they'll say that you paid 20,000 for next 10 years, and then instead of it becoming 2 lakhs, we'll give you 2.8 lakhs. Is that a good deal?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good
Understand.
deal,
I
right?
understand. I
So,
understand. Yeah.
yeah, it's like
Okay.
that.
So
You
I
should
think
calculate
you
it.
Yeah, I think you are, you have turned out to be so good into finances, Sanjana. I hope you get, you don't mind if I suggest some people to you, right? Like if some people comes and ask for me, for a
That would
financial
be
advisor to
helpful to
me,
me,
yeah,
Abhinav.
I'll probably direct you to them because I feel see, there are a lot of people
Uh,
around me looking for the right person to help. Okay, so I think you would be able to
mm-hmm.
help us, get to wherever we
Yeah.
want, right? And
So
see,
it's
I
an
have a, yeah,
interesting job. Mm.
yeah, I know it is
Tell
like
me.
really interesting. I have a, question, Sanjana. Like, what do you think? See, I know it is different for every individual. What do you think is the right age for becoming financially independent? Right now, considering all of us, this generation, what do you think is the right age? And what do you think is the right amount to have to live happily for the rest of the life? Like I know, like every person will have their own fantasies, and there is no end for their
Mm,
fantasies and what they could do with money.
mm,
For a basic
mm,
human being, how much money is enough, and what is the right age?
mm. Okay, fine. So, someone from our batch or from the 2020 batch, people who graduated in 2020, they'll be able to retire even today because of their fathers. Okay, because
Hmm.
only because of their fathers, because they have
Yeah.
enough corpus saved. Okay,
Hmm.
but on the other side, for someone who doesn't have a property in Indranagar, okay, those guys will have to work their ass off at least for the next 2 decades.
Hmm.
Okay, so it would make sense to retire at 45, 50.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
also, that depends on how well you're working for the next 5, 10 years, right? So
That's
if
true.
they build a business that's giving them a lot of money, or if they just buy a Udupi Vaibhav on the road, which is very busy, right? You might put 4.5 crores into that, but it creates income on a daily basis. Or if you have an MRP or a petrol bunk in Bangalore, then you're sorted, right? So that's again
Yeah.
very subjective. Okay,
Hmm.
but one thing you should know is for every crore that you save, you
Hmm.
will be able to have a passive income of a lakh.
Sorry, repeat that again. I didn't understand that.
Every crore that you save, for every 1 crore
Okay.
that you
Mm-hmm.
save,
Mm-hmm.
you can have a passive income of 1 lakh every
Great.
month through mutual
Amazing.
funds. And this is
Okay.
the best that there is in India as of today.
Mm-hmm. Mutual funds.
Okay, so that's that magic mantra. Yes. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
one great thing about mutual funds is if you want to retire, have a lavish life and all of that. In mutual funds, if you opt for something called SWP, which is systematic withdrawal
Mm-hmm.
plan, you will be
Mm-hmm.
able to withdraw 1%, okay,
Mm-hmm.
from the total corpus, which is 1
Mm-hmm.
lakh from 1 crore every month.
Mm-hmm.
And still that 1 crore will not erode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it will remain 1 lakh there because
Okay.
the market will keep generating money on the 99 lakhs that is still invested. And
Mm-hmm.
that if it generates even 10%, you will get 99K, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
almost 1 crore again. So that's how it works. SWP is an amazing thing that people should consider if they want passive income, if they have lump sum money. And
Mm-hmm.
it depends on you. If you want 1 lakh, you need to save 1 crore, at least in
I
mutual
understand.
funds, as on today, according to Indian market. But again, if the
Mm-hmm.
stock market goes down and if the performance is not great, again, you're in trouble. And again, if your
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle goes up and 1 lakh is not enough, you're in
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah.
So, very
Yeah.
subjective.
Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
this aspect of finance is very like subjective, and it depends on each individual's, right? Because everyone has a different way how to approach it, and we can't even tell them. It has to come
Um,
from their inner self to do it. That's what I feel.
Exactly, exactly. And everybody our age, they think that suddenly they'll wake up. or their Instagram will boom up, or the business will
That's
work, and
yeah.
they're going to suddenly make 7 crores, or they're going to become very rich, and they all feel these things. But again,
Mm-hmm.
looking at probability, I mean, I wish them
Mm-hmm.
good luck, okay? But again,
Mm-hmm.
looking at probability, how many people are going to make it? So if you
Yeah.
are forgetting about your wife, looking at a dancer or a stripper on the in the club somewhere, then you might not get that girl as well. You're not going to get your wife as
Mm-hmm.
well, and you should
Yeah,
not do
that's
that.
true.
Take that amount of risk. Yeah.
That's true. See, I agree with whatever you told, Sandra, because and also right now I think
Mm.
there's a lot of boom in the social media and there's a lot to consume, right? I mean, we should not blame like
Yeah.
people also because they're always on their phones. They're looking at so much of content, and everyone gets like fantasy. Everyone gets fantasies to become a millionaire, but they don't know the route for it. It is everyone are talking. If you open Instagram, at least one five reels will be like become a millionaire, become a millionaire. But no one is telling how to become, right? And these guys will half of them will waste time looking at the reels or they won't even figure out what to do next. So I hope this episode will at least enlighten a few people at least, and I hope at least a
Yeah.
few people come to you and get some good plans and sort their futures out, right? Do you have anything else to tell?
Clarity. Um, no, you should ask me if you have anything to say.
Yeah, so,
So,
yeah, I think we covered up on a
one
lot
sec,
of
let me just.
basic
Yeah,
topics.
we've covered on whatever we wanted to cover,
Yeah,
right?
because right, see, I know you can talk a lot, but I don't want people to get confused. Like people should not get confused. Like if you're going in depth into finances, we'll probably do another episode where like you can talk in depth of financial analysis or whatever it is. Right now, I think whatever you have told, right, it'll give a like basic catch into the financial industry, and if they're interested, let's probably talk again and give them more insights.
Yeah, yeah,
You should not give
yeah, we
everything at
should do
once,
that.
right? What do you say? You should not give everything at once.
Exactly, exactly,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
exactly. That will become
yeah.
unsolicited advice.
Yeah. And see, like I think you mentioned a lot about our batch, college, and everything, right? For people, I think they'll be wondering what are they talking. Just to give you guys an idea. See, Sanjana was my batchmate in PU, and I think we were friends. I used to see you, and that's it. And I never found you after PU, right? I don't know where you went. You went to a different college, I guess. And
Right, right.
then like I followed you on Instagram. Then I saw you doing things on finances, which was a very interesting topic to me, because see, personally, whatever advice I listen to others, right, I will think like 100 times before I do it. Let it be investments, because I will think of my factor, right, like how it will affect me. Will I be able to manage? Because if, for example, if I put in an SIP of like 40 or 50,000, say about 20 or 30,000, I should be able to consistently do it, right? It should not be like I put in 20, 30,000 for like 4 months, and fifth and sixth month I don't have money to put in. So I think in that perspective and then get into investments. But to be honest, I've done a quite few investments right now, like getting into the stock market and a basic SIP and everything. I've started it a year ago, and I'll probably reach out to you, like for more advice.
Yeah,
Please
yeah, yeah,
help
we
me
should
out.
talk.
Yeah,
Definitely, we should talk.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
I'll look
and
at what you're investing in. If there's something better we
okay,
can do, I'll
uh-huh.
let you know.
Yeah, sure. And do you have anything else to tell, Sanjana? Do you have anything else to tell? How did you feel about talking on the show? Do you have any
It was
suggestions
very
or
candid. I had a good time. It was
yeah?
like a evening chat, with the tea. It felt more like that. So
That's
it was
great. That's
comfortable.
great.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting me.
That's great, Sanjana. Thanks a lot for being on the show. We'll probably catch up soon and give more insights to
Sure.
our people. All right.
Done. Done. Okay, Abhinav. Thank you so much.